Do you want to know the biggest challenge that marketers are facing today? No, it's not more posts in your social media. It's bigger. All right, let's roll. The biggest challenge that marketers are facing today is a data challenge. So what's a data challenge? Well, a data challenge is they don't know the data that they need in order to run a successful marketing campaign. They don't have a good list per se that is segmented between customers, prospects. Maybe you went to a trade show, you got that list. Folks with proper titles. Maybe companies, they've shifted companies, right? They moved from one company to another. Maybe the CEO stepped down. Your data is stale. If you have stale data, you have stale marketing, all right? You cannot market, you cannot upload a list to Facebook so that you can have a custom audience if you have crappy data. If you have crappy data, your email marketing campaigns are gonna bounce back. If you have crappy data, you're gonna segment, right? And if you're trying to run an SEO campaign or a pay-per-click campaign or whatever it is, you don't have proper tracking. Tracking is a data challenge. You're going to make wrong assumptions. You're gonna make wrong decisions. So the biggest challenge, in my opinion, is not having enough data, the required data, appropriate data, and also quality data that you can actually trust. If you don't have data, right, that's like the most valuable thing a business has. It's their information. It's the most IP. Like Amazon knows when you need your next, batch of toilet paper because they can already predict information. If you don't have information, how can you ever predict, right? It's called predictive analytics. You need the analytics to be able to predict. You can't do machine learning if you don't have, data that you could really count on, right? Structured data that is consistent and there's so much of it, then yes, you can make those decisions. So today, I'm wearing a ClickX shirt, not at all, trying to talk about it, but we built a platform that was to track the marketing analytics of the campaign so that we had consistent data from campaign to campaign, client to client, different industries, verticals, everything that you could track. We built a platform just to track data so we can make better decisions, right? We knew what was working, what wasn't working. What is the cost per lead? How do you actually, scale this campaign? Where do you start to see the diminishing return on your marketing? Everything comes down to data, right? That is the most important, valuable asset that you can have. And companies that are scaling, they work off of making their data better. How do you make the data better? That's what they're doing. How do you enhance the data? How do you get more information about the people that you have? How do you find out where they work? How do you find out social data about them? How do you find out anything more that you can make your rich data set more valuable to you than anything else, right? So instead of working on more social media posts, instead of working on more, blogs or whatever else you think your marketing needs, work on improving the data. Where does this data come from and how old is it? How do we keep it up to date? How do we make sure that the people that we're emailing are even the right people? How do you segment this list so that we have the most sought out, the best, audience over here? And how do you get, the next best, your B players to actually engage with your content? And what about the people that literally unsubscribe the moment you send an email, right? Those people aren't engaged. They're not going to help you grow and scale. So you really need to work on cleaning up the data. And just so you know, some of the companies I work with, they have data all over the place. They have a sales data over here. They have the customer service data over here. They have, service data. Their prospectors are using some other data. And they have sometimes more than one systems. The data is being kept. So a phone number getting updated here doesn't get updated there. It's a disaster, right? It's a disaster because there's just no one place to store all this information. Needless to say, we spend thousands and thousands of dollars cleaning up our data, enhancing the data, working on it, making sure the data is consistent. And also, if we do have multiple systems, how do we let those systems talk to each other, right? If you give me an email address or contact information, I can go back and look at every touch point that we had with that person. And that's the power of having data consistently. And sometimes that means that it will cost you a lot more money in the short run to fix this, but in the long run, you will have so much more access to the correct information. You can tell when a customer became a customer and when they didn't become a customer, when they cancel. All of this information that you have for your business has to be tracked in a single, like a huge database, so that you know when somebody filled out a form and when they opted out, right? Should they have opted out, even down to the email that they opted out on. This information is available. Believe it or not, there are tools today that you can use to make this thing happen. You don't have to go out and custom build a database. You don't need to hire a Microsoft Access developer. This is easy stuff. There are tools available to you today to make this a reality. But do you even know that you need this, right? Are you even aware of the problem? To me, it's more about knowing the problem that you have at hand so you can work on fixing it. The best way to fix your data problem is to take a look at what you have today and what are you tracking today, what are you measuring today, and how can you improve that. There's ways to measure practically everything about your business. Your front end of the metrics, your sales and your marketing pipeline, all the way to your customer database and what they're doing, and also even enhancing that so you can actually give them more value as part of your company, right? For being part of your company, how do you add more value? All of this information, who are the key players in the company, and what do they know about your business? How can they actually get more value from working with you? And even having a database, who can they refer you to, right? A referral database. There's data for everything that you can track. And all of this needs to be talking to each other, and you need to work on improving the quality of the data almost to a point that you have some sort of a data analytics department that's working on getting you the metrics that you're looking for. Looking at your business growth month over month, year over year, quarter over quarter. All of this requires having the same type of input, right? Back in the day when I was in high school, I learned garbage in, garbage out. You put garbage data in, what do you think you're gonna get out on the other side? If you switched your email marketing software 6 times in the last year, where do you think you can go back and see the kind of metrics you're looking for, right? And if you're not tracking like SEO metrics in the same platform for the last several years, how can you know whether or not you're increasing your rankings or decreasing it over time? And that means that you need to have consistent data across all of your departments. And everyone has to be logging in. So like one of the things that we did when we built ClickX is that we didn't charge per user. We actually said you can have unlimited user onto the platform. And the reason why we did that is we believe that this information has to be accessible by everyone in the company. It cannot be kept a secret for 3 people in the marketing department or just some sales folks, right? I think everybody has to have access to the data if you truly want to build a data sort of company, right? Data is driving the decisions, right? Data-driven company. And that means that you look at the data, you make decisions out of it, you don't make it out of gut feelings, and you also work on improving that data so you can actually have something that you can count on. You can click a button and actually pull up a list of people that would be interested in this, maybe this particular promotion that you're trying to run. You can click a button and you can pull all the list of people that bought this product that we should actually promote to. You can pick up a list of people that you want to run a Facebook ad against. If you cannot do that today, then you're in big trouble, right? And by the way, don't worry, this is a fixable problem, but you first have to know you have a data crisis. Not needing more posts for your social profiles, well, there's nothing wrong with that, but tracking the engagement and seeing how you can improve it and getting better at that is what I want you to work on. Don't put more into the system, work on getting quality, not quantity, right? Figuring out a strategy that is going to get you the answers that you're looking for, systems, and all the places that you store. You know, one thing I love about data is that, to me, it's the bedrock. It's the infrastructure in which you're going to build your business on. If you don't know where this information is going to get stored, don't even run the campaign, right? Don't even send an email out, because the value is in that infrastructure. From that first day all the way onwards that you're ever going to use this information, you got to make sure that this is where the data is going to be housed. So we have to have that figured out before you can worry about, well, I want to fix my data, I want to work on all these things. Is figure out where this stuff is going to get stored first. Once you have that figured out, then go ahead and scale. You can start testing and trying all kinds of stuff. But if you have multiple systems, like many businesses, you might have 3 or 4 different CMS systems or landing pages or this software or that software, call tracking. I mean, you name it, everybody buys the next tool, but they never worry about where is this data going to get stored at the end of the day, right? How do you connect the dots It's not about the tools that you have, it's how valuable this information is actually for you in making informed decisions, okay? So thanks a lot for watching. I didn't mean to panic or make you feel uncomfortable about the fact that maybe you do have a data problem, but time and time again, for every single person I talk to, every single person I come across, and especially in my conversations, I ask them, wait, where is this information stored? Can you pull this up? Can you give me that? And sometimes I hear like QuickBooks, and I'm like, QuickBooks? That's a customer database. That's where you store your sales information, not so much your prospect, your leads. And that's when I start to worry about, man, they probably have more problems, right? That they don't even know that exist. So I made this quick video to bring to your attention that work on your data. That is, to me, the biggest issue marketers are facing today. Can they trust the data? Can you bank on it? And can you bet on it? Because I know I can bet on my data. If I send this email out, I know exactly what's gonna happen. And that's the same place I would like you to be in. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you found this video useful, share it with your colleagues that are doing marketing for you so that they too know the importance of having quality data day in and day out so you can make informed decisions. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you next time.